to the bone. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone.
Kia ora, good afternoon. Welcome to the Garden City for the Canterbury Rams' second game of the season, ready to take on the Auckland Tuatara. It's the penultimate game of round 2 in the NZNBL for 2022. The Rams against the Tuatara live from Cowles Stadium. A very good afternoon. Hugh Bain here alongside Phil Jones, and Harira Mama, happy Mother's Day. A lot of proud mothers watching on today, none more so than Carol Jones in Reefton, whose eldest son was inducted into the Basketball New Zealand Hall of Fame last night. Congratulations, Phil.
Kia ora, Hugh. Thank you. Nice to be here again.
Wonderful honour for you last night. In fact, some of the players out on the court as well, also honoured and winning awards. An intriguing matchup tonight. We've been talking about this all week. We saw the Tuatara 2 nights ago in Nelson and their fearsome front court. We haven't seen this iteration of the Canterbury Rams with all their reinforcements.
No, it was a pretty good game for Tuatara and Nelson. Obviously coming out with a win, and Rob Lowe and Chris Johnson showed their abilities inside and out. Rob killing us from the arc, and nice to see a Rams with a full squad, and it'll be good to see what they can offer to the NZNBL moving forward.
Absolutely. We'll talk through the Rams' new reinforcements shortly, as we see another great crowd here at Cowles Stadium, one of the loudest cauldrons in the NZNBL. Let's have a look at how the NBL has shaped up so far in 2022. Still in the very early stages, of course, but the Auckland Tuatara in their inaugural season, 2-0, top of the ladder, and have done so in emphatic style, joined by, of course, their neighbours to the south, the Franklin Bulls. Wellington Saints 0-2 after a loss last night. Still some reinforcements to come from them, and you see the Canterbury Rams with a win from their sole game over the Nuggets last week. The games come thick and fast in NZNBL, and they continue after this one at 5 o'clock live on Sky Sport. The Manawatu Jets taking on the Southland Sharks, who went down in the close one last night to the Bulls. And then round 3 starts on Thursday from the Shark Tank when the Hawks are down in Invercargill to take on Rob Beveridge's men. And then Friday at 7:30, we're back in Palmy Dice with the Rams on the road up against the Jets. So let's have a look at some starting fives, shall we, for this one, as the warm-up dunks are made and missed. We look at the Auckland Tuatara. Dante Rousseau-Nance, the recipient of the Young Player of the Year award last night at the Basketball New Zealand Awards, in the backcourt with sharpshooter Chris McIntosh, the impressive Tucky Farrington on the wing. And there's that fearsome front court duo of Rob Lowe and Chris Johnson. Let's hear from head coach Aaron Young.
Aaron, coming off the back of a good win against the Giants, how are the boys shaping up for this one?
Yeah, no, we had a great recovery day yesterday. It took us, the full day to get the legs back. We had a good yoga session, so, the boys are feeling good, and obviously it's a big night tonight, so we're looking forward to the challenge.
And have you got a couple of keys for the win tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've got some new pieces, new coach, so I think there'll be a few things that we took away from last week's game, but more or less it'll be just kind of matching the intensity. It's always a great atmosphere at Cowles, and we had a great game here last year. Didn't quite get the win, but we're looking forward to hopefully getting the W tonight.
Shout out to Mum.
Yeah, no, love you, Mum. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there.
Oh, it's wholesome stuff. It's wholesome stuff from Aaron Young. It's great to see. Also great to see for these fans in Cowles Stadium today, this lineup for the Canterbury Rams. Long-time captain Taylor Britt alongside Sunday Detch, last seen in the NZNBL in 2019, winning a championship with the Saints. Ryan Taylor, the American import, fresh out of 3 seasons with the Santa Cruz Warriors in the G League on the wing. Local lad Hunter Adam at the 4 spot, and Big Mike Kadina at the 5. Perhaps the most notable off-season signing for the Canterbury Rams, however, that of head coach Judd Flavel back after a 2-year stint in the Australian NBL. Let's hear for him ahead of his first game.
Judd, welcome back to the league. How's things been since you got back on Tuesday?
Yeah, it was it's Tuesday. I mean, it's a short amount of time, but look, it's been great. It's good to be home. It's been a long time, in between drinks, but looking forward to seeing what we got out here tonight and just getting ourselves in amongst it, and myself included.
And keys for tonight's win, what do you think?
Oh, they obviously got 2 bigs, a unique kind of lineup that's been very effective, and so, a big challenge for us on the inside. But they do it all. They do it on the outside as well. They're very skilled, so let's see if we can get up the floor and sort of pressure some of that. We're not the biggest team going around, so we've got to be up the floor.
All right, mate. Good luck for the game tonight.
Just awesome to see Judd Flavel back in Aotearoa, one of the great men in New Zealand basketball. And a former teammate of yours, Phil.
Yeah, Judd and I played together in the Giants for quite some time, and also played against Judd for many years when he was playing for Hawke's Bay, and then also alongside him with the Tall Blacks. So we've got quite a bit of history together and against each other. So, yeah, good-hearted rivalry, I would call it.
And one of the brain trusts of the Tall Blacks over the past few years as well. Judd, what a future he has in coaching and an already great career so far. Let's have a look at the head-to-head, shall we, of these two teams so far in 2022. There, the stats. And we look at the star watch there, Phil. Joe Cook-Green, Rob Lowe, two players you are very high on.
Yeah, Joe Cook-Green, high-energy point guard that loves to pressure the ball defensively. And, offensively he showed that he can put the ball through the basket last week with a 30-point haul. First game of the season for him, and so watch out for him. And then Rob Lowe, a threat from all over the court. And he just showed us how good of a player he is against the Giants on Friday night, and shooting from the arc, getting to the basket, posting up, and he just did everything with consummate ease, to be fair. So looking forward to both these players and seeing what they can offer to the game tonight.
Crew Chief Matt Bathurst on the left of your screen, Hayden Hyde, and that is Taylor Hummerson. Not Brad Clyde, no Brad Clyde today, so Taylor Hummerson jumps in. So there's our refereeing crew for this clash. You talk about Rob Lowe, and well, he plays with that poise and that relative ease, as you say, of an 80-plus time Tall Black. And just great to see him back enjoying his basketball. We saw him play for the Tall Blacks earlier this year. Not the easiest of season, of course, for the Breakers, but great to see Rob back in Aotearoa and playing some good basketball. And he is going to be a key man for his hometown team in 2022.
He is, and it's nice to see that top echelon of New Zealand player playing in NZNBL. We want to see more of these guys coming back and, pulling on the jersey for their team they want to represent, and coming out and getting on the court and showing the fans what they can do.
Averaging 20 points and 13.5 rebounds is Rob Lowe in his first two games at the Tuatara. Excited to see how he goes tonight, and it's a matchup that he would have experienced many times before in training, of course, at Tall Blacks level with big Mike Karina, and in the NZNBL. And they don't come much bigger than Mike Karina. I'm talking girth-wise. He might not have the height of Chris Johnson, but he is a large man. You have to take 4 steps to get around.
He absolutely is. And I think that's probably one thing that the Rams will present tonight to Tuatara is the physicality side of things. The Rams tend to pride themselves on their defensive prowess, and adding someone like Sunday Detch into the team along Taylor Britt and Joe Cook-Green, that is a formidable guard lineup that loves to pressure the ball. So, Tuatara are going to be under a bit of pressure here, so it's a good challenge for their guards, in particular Dante Rousseau-Nance.
Well, you and I were lucky enough to see the Rams close up in Greymouth in the preseason, and that was a defensive display worth remembering from Joe Cook-Green and Taylor Britt. And then you add Sunday Detch, who's a perennial mention in the Australian NBL Defensive Player of the Year conversation.
Yeah, you could see a lot of teams not getting the ball over halfway against those three.
We're about ready to get underway here at Cowles Stadium. The hulking figure of Mike Karina and the tall, lanky figure of Chris Johnson will commence battle in the middle of this famed court. And it's Johnson who gets a hand to it. Out of bounds it goes. And the Rams will control the first possession of this one. And the notably inexperienced player on the court, Phil, is Hunter Adam, wearing number 10 for the Canterbury Rams.
Out of
Christ College.
Out of Christ College, yeah, and talented young guy. Super confident in his skills, and he's got a big future of basketball ahead of him.
Here's Ryan Taylor, first shot as a Canterbury Ram, doesn't go. Rebounded eventually by Chris Johnson.
And this is something the Tuatara did well on Friday against the Giants, was they just didn't give the opposition any second chance points, and we see that with them getting their first defensive rebound of the game.
Anything but two traditional bigs, Lowe and Johnson. Happy with ball inside or outside as a fadeaway doesn't go. And Taylor Britt will bring the ball up. Great to see him back playing basketball after a couple of years with the Perth Wildcats, where he didn't see much court time, just invaluable training time. Oh, Mike Karina perhaps didn't realise how unguarded he was when he got that ball in the low post, but they reset through Taylor. Ryan Taylor's shot doesn't go. He had half a season in Greece before coming down to Christchurch to suit up for the Rams after 3 years in the G League. Here's Dante Rousseau-Nance running downhill, taking a lot of contact, and Hunter Adam can just tip it out of bounds. So Tuatara ball from under the hoop.
It's the size of Mike Karina under the hoop there, just showing Dante Russo-Nance nowhere to go. Ran straight into a brick wall.
Here's Taki Farrington. A wonderful start to the season he's had after a stint in Germany. Low, down low, up against Hunter Adam. Beautiful baseline spin move from Rob Lowe, and to the Resine foul line he goes for one more.
Yeah, and that's a tough ask for young Hunter Adams. Rob is pretty much 7 feet tall. He's got a nice skill set down low, and Hunter is quite a bit shorter than him, so it's got to be a lot more physical than that if he wants to keep him away from the basket.
Judge Flavel did say to you in the interview beforehand that they perhaps lack a bit of size, but really every team is going to feel like they lack size when they come up against this Tuatara front court.
Yeah, they will. Most teams will, because there's not many that have two bigs running around at the same time on the court.
Taylor Brett, Dante Russo-Nance paying close attention to him, but there's Taylor Brett, fires it out. Adam in the corner for three.
That was a great pass. Absolutely great pass.
There's Hunter Adam off the mark. Much to the delight of his hometown crowd. Sunday Detch already causing problems for young Dante Russo-Nance. Oh, Rob Lowe maybe wasn't expecting that pass.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Better get something up quick.
Russo-Nance can't get it to go. Gets his rebound, but only throws it as far as Nance. McIntosh with the steal, though. And the Tuatara will go again. Rips the ball, drives baseline. Offensive foul call on Russo-Nance. Just a little push off there. And taken well by Taylor Brett.
And that's the ability of the Rams guards to be able to play defense, slide their feet, and Russo-Nance just extended that arm a little bit, and Taylor Britt saw it coming, took the charge on the ground.
We talk about defensive prowess. Both Sunday Detch and Taylor Britt have been through the school of Damian Martin in Perth. Sunday Detch born and raised in Perth as McIntosh fouls Brett under the hoop. Detch played a season with the Wildcats in 2018-2019. Taylor Brett had a couple of years over there as well.
Yeah, and quality outfit, obviously, the Perth Wildcats, and opportunity for both of those guys to develop in their game, and coming back to the NZNBL, they'll feel quite comfortable stepping into this league and being major role players in their respective teams, or in the same team now.
Key part of the last Tall Blacks tour, Taylor Brett, as well as the Tall Blacks 3x3, who's qualified for the World Cup. Here's Rob Lowe, Detch on him. Former teammates, of course, with the Wellington Saints in 2019, that famed, unbeaten Wellington Saints side. Russo-Nance, quick feet. McIntosh, quick release. Bounces around, rebound by Detch.
Detch did a great job of boxing out Rob Lowe there, keeping him off the boards.
Look to drop it into Karina, but Chris Johnson with a round the back move as well, goes the other way. No look pass to Farrington. Hunter Adam does well. And Chris Johnson just manages to save someone's afternoon tea on the corporate table.
He's just got arms that go on forever, hasn't he? He tipped the ball about 5 times down the court. Nice behind the back.
Behind the back was reminiscent of Casey Frank in the first ever game for the New Zealand Breakers.
Yeah,
I don't know if you thought of that at the same time I did, but he didn't finish it quite as emphatically as Casey Frank did that day.
Arguably the player of the year for the Breakers.
Absolutely. Karina, spot up, pull up. Hunter Adam almost with an athletic putback. Johnson corrals the miss. Showing off his handling skills and earning a foul from young Hunter Adam.
Hunter just with hands on there.
How many 6'11" guys in this league just bringing the ball up through their legs?
Only the 2 that are playing for this team.
Yeah. And a big round of applause here at Cowles Stadium as Max Darling re-enters New Zealand basketball after a good stint in Romania. Just returned last week.
Yeah, I think he's only been in Christchurch for a day or 2. He's complaining about the fact he had to go straight to practice after he arrived off the plane, which is obviously pretty tough. I'd be complaining myself.
Here's Farrington. Taylor got a hand to it. Ferguson might have got the luckiest of bounces. No, he didn't, but a great offensive ball from the smallest man on court. Chris McIntosh, and Russo Nance rattles in the three. So second chance points for the Auckland Tuatara.
Yeah, and Judd Flavel won't be happy with that. Old McIntosh coming up with the O board over top of Mike Karina.
Well, Brett, great pass behind the back of low to Karina. He misses the layup. Does the big man. And McIntosh looking to go coast to coast. He drops it off there. His big man. And Chris Johnson does everything but miss it.
And that's the presence of having two 7-footers out on the court at the same time. You know, Mike Karina catches that nice pass, and you know, just knowing they're there can throw you off the shot a little bit.
Oh, Darling with a, I don't know if it was unintentional. Either way, it was spectacular through the legs of his defender. 5 on the shot clock. Brett, Max Darling in the corner. Offensive rebound by the Rams. Taylor, the pass was there, but Darling had just stepped the other way. And we're going to see a little bit of that from the Rams, I think, Phil. As you said, Max Darling only a day in practice. Ryan Taylor only a few days in the country. Sunday Detch too.
Yeah, and Judd as well. You know, there's quite a big component of the team arrived this week, which they're going to take a little bit of time to gel.
Chris Johnson, a little crossover step back three, and then a bit of words to the Canterbury Rams bench as well. I don't mind seeing that. And he is going to be a showstopper for the time he's here with the Auckland Tuatara in 2022. Oh, Rob Lowe. Ooh. Call for the foul. A bemused Rob Lowe. Not immune to a confused face. It's Rob Lowe. I love to see it.
To be fair, he's probably got a slight argument here. With the, but we're going to see a replay there, but we didn't quite get to it. But you know, he did not a bad job of actually getting around the side and tipping the ball. Obviously, just got a piece of Karina's arm.
Timeout here, media timeout. The referees discuss that last call, and the teams will discuss the last 5 minutes 50. 11-5 to the Tuatara with a 6-point lead, but pretty even going so far, Phil.
Yeah, I think you know, when I was playing and we had double headers, I always seemed to feel the second game of a double header I felt a lot more settled coming into that game and a little bit more relaxed, and it seemed to be I felt like a better game to play in.
There's the replay.
It's a replay there, just getting a little touch on the arm. I think Rob was pretty convinced that he didn't touch anything apart from the basketball, but
well, those double headers you talk about, you know, games within 2 days or sometimes even within 1 day. What about fatigue? Does fatigue come into it?
Fatigue can, but you know, like these teams, you know, the teams these days, they're very well prepared to play, you know, more than one game a weekend. So you know, the level of intensity they play with, and you know, they're up for that challenge. And you know, when you get a little bit older too, you understand how to save a bit of energy as well. So
well, Rambo not saving his energy. Mascot for the Rams, wearing the flash new gear. New Balance kit. I love the Rams one based on the 1982 iteration. Gone retro of the Canterbury Rams. And there's Joker Green onto the court for the first time. Off a 30-point game. Moved to the bench with the addition of Sunday Detch.
And the great thing about Joe is he's the ultimate team player, and he'll just come in and he'll just do his job from the moment he steps on the court.
Here's Brett. And a mismatch on Rob Lowe. Stops him in his tracks and then drains the three. Taylor Brett with a great heads-up move.
Yeah, Taylor Brett, not really known for his three-point shooting, but made that look pretty easy.
It was good recognition, wasn't it? As there's the two big men combining with each other. Chris Johnson not getting the finish. Darling using his strength well. No look pass. Tucky Ferguson does the Taylor Brett move on Max Darling, and he'll earn a trip to the Resine foul line where he'll shoot three.
Yeah, Max actually played pretty good D on Chris Johnson there down low, and he got a good hand up on Tucky Farrington too, but just overextended, took away Tucky's landing space. See a replay here. Tucky, nice little move, step back, and Max just overextended.
So Tucky Ferguson at the Resine foul line.
Makes the first. He had a strong game up against the Giants 2 nights ago.
Averaging 15.5 points is Taki over his first 2 games. 6 rebounds as well. Shooting at 40%.
That's a pretty good clip.
And misses his third free throw. Taylor Britt barks instructions to his team as he brings the ball up. They trail 12-8, just past the midway point of the first quarter here at Cowles Stadium. Britt trying to get the pass from Darling, but Farrington was there. Here is Taki Farrington, fashioning a bit of space for himself. Johnson gets himself inside and receives the ball. Russo Nance on the weak side wing, the 3 ball doesn't go. Joe Green will bring it up for the Rams. Detch calls for a screen from Darling. 6 on the shot clock as Taylor Britt spins in. That spins one too many times. And it's called for a travel.
Yeah, nice defense by the Tuatara there, and McIntosh did well to cut Taylor Britt off to the hoop. One thing I noticed with both teams is they're really trying to sort of play through an offensive post-up possession, and then the big guys are all willing passers. Cuts all over the place, and showing that they've got the ability to pass and hit open guys.
Low. Fake handoff and then sets the screen for Russo Nance. Big step back from Russo Nance, who drains the mid-ranger.
Yeah, nice patience by Dante Russo Nance there. Got Mike Karina on the back foot.
Well, what a future he has, Phil. I mean, he doesn't look out of place going up against 2 Tall Blacks and an Australian NBL player tonight in Sunday Detch. Can't get the 3 to go. Joe Green, right place, right time, comes down with it. Taylor Britt left wide open. There's now 2 for 2 from beyond the arc.
And making me eat my words after telling him that he's not a 3-point shooter.
Well, potentially making the Tuatara scout eat their words too, as Rob Lowe goes to the hoop and will go to the Resine foul line.
I thought we may have seen Rob Lowe try and dunk that one. He looked like he was lining it up. Just going back to Dante Russo Nance, you mentioned he's got a big future. I think I completely agree. He's got a huge future, probably more so in a different league than the Sal's NBL. I think he's got the ability to go a long way with his basketball, and I'm sure he'd be looking to take some big steps, being involved with some NBA junior camps in the past. So he's obviously got people watching him from afar.
Loves to represent his school, his hometown association, his hometown team. Hopefully one day the Tall Blacks, his Detch with Nance on him. Britt, hesitation, good hand from Farrington, but it doesn't affect Taylor Britt.
And Taylor Britt has come out cooking in this game.
10 points for Taylor Britt. Ruben Fitzgerald into the game. Passes to another former Westlake Boys High alumni, and Rob Lowe. Here is Rob Lowe. Fires it across, and no one's saving that corporate table. Well, miscommunication.
The classic old in the crowd. Don't put your hands up to catch it, just try and dodge it.
Well, protect the beer at all costs, surely.
Yeah.
The beer and canapes. Jackson Stent into the game for the Rams, sets the screen. There's Max Darling. Detch, step back 3, and down it goes for Sunday Detch. His first points as a Canterbury Ram.
And the Rams starting to find their range now from the 3-point line.
Farrington, beautiful hesitation. No, Tucky went up, tried to dunk it. He came out and he tried to put it back in, which of course you can't do.
No.
I wish I could even.
Athletic.
I wish I could even try and do that.
Yeah.
Sees the funny side to Tucky. A great aggression and a beautiful move.
Just noticed the Rams have lifted the defensive intensity a little bit, and I think they're starting to push the Tuatara out of their offensive sets.
I think it came with the injection of this man, Joe Cook-Green, into the game. A couple of youngsters out there now in Stent and Walter Brown. High bouncing rebound. Darling goes and gets it. Nick Barrow in there, as he always is, causing trouble. Which, of course, is ironic, given he's a police officer, so prevents trouble by day, causes trouble by night.
Yeah, he's a big body out there. Not the most athletic guy, but you're not going to move him around the place very easily.
Cook-Green to Darling. Here's Sam Smith. Rob Lowe doing well just to force the Rams out of a bit of rhythm. Lovely pass from Darling. Stent steadies his feet. Three ball doesn't go. Russo Nance brings in the board. And the Rams have just pulled themselves back within 2 now on the scoreboard as we have a foul mid-court. Sam Smith.
You see the Dante Russo Nance stepping to the Razine foul line. Rams in the bonus. So with Tuatara in the bonus, the Rams got 5 team fouls.
Moffat's just doing a good job at half court. Russo Nance will resume from the Razine. And he makes them both, does the young man, just turned 18 years old. Young Tom Beattie into the game and immediately commits a foul on Joe Cook-Green. But Aaron Young tells him to keep going.
I think the referee has done a good job to start the game. You know, there is a good level of physicality, but you know, the fouls that are fouls are calling them. The ones that showing defenders doing a good job of using their body rather than their hands, they're not calling them.
Cook-Green 3 from way out in front, long rebound. Russo Nance, Beattie in the open court. Everything but the finish. Rebounded by Stent. And that'll do us for the first quarter of action here at Cowles Stadium. 20 points to 16, the Auckland Tuatara lead the Canterbury Rams. Second quarter coming up after the break, live on the home of sport, Sky Sport. Hey guys, how you doing, Tessa? Welcome back to Cowles Stadium. Quarter time entertainment, courtesy of 2 tall ferns, Elafotu and Tessa Boagni, both signed for the mainland Poakai in 2022. Wowing the crowd and winning some free pizza while they're at it, as we see the Rams talking over the hulking figure of Big Ed Book at the back of the timeout there. And there's Rambo entertaining the crowd. Awesome to see a couple of tall ferns in the building. A couple of tall blacks too. None more decorated than Rob Lowe. Actually, I shouldn't say that with Phil Jones sitting next to me, but none more actively decorated than Rob Lowe.
That's right. He's got plenty of time left too. Yeah. It's good to see Ed Book involved in the NBL again. Obviously, he had a storied career in the NBL, playing for New Zealand and also for the Giants for a long time and a few other teams. Now he's got 2 sons that are heavily involved in the Rams squad.
What an awesome opportunity for Ed in his post-playing career to coach a professional team with 2 of his sons on it. Just amazing as Chris Johnson has to put up a tough shot, but that's the Tuatara for you. Because fantastic defense in the Rams, only for Rob Lowe to gobble up the rebound and put it straight back in the hoop.
Yeah, one 7-footer shooter, and if they miss it, the other one gets the rebound.
Just tapped out of bounds there by Dante Rousseau-Nance.
And that, my friends, is what happens when you don't watch the game and the ball hits the corporate table.
Well, you take the risk when you buy them, and there's high risk, high reward, isn't it, really?
Yeah, you really do have to be paying attention when you're sitting in that front row. See the basketball getting the beverages wiped off it.
He wants to play with a sticky basketball on a Sunday afternoon. So Walter Brown gets his pack underway. Mike Kanina hands it off to Joker Green. He'll think about that 3 ball, and he'll do more than think about it. He'll drain it from right out in front. Rousseau-Nance looking inside to Lowe. Good help defense from Joe Cook Green. Room Fitzgerald trying to put Mike Kanina on skates. The big man does well. Steps back on him on the other side. That one doesn't go. Jackson Stentz. A little push on Chris Johnson under the hoop. So foul called.
Yeah, Chris Johnson just got himself good position under the basket, and all Stent really could do was just give him a bit of a push in the back, trying to get him away from the rebounding position.
Braden Yulee into the game for the first time tonight for the Tuatara as Ruben Fitzgerald takes a seat. There's Tom Beattie, year 13 student at Rosmini College in the North Shore of Auckland. Johnson fires it over to Yulee. 5 on the shot clock. From the elbow, a step back mid-ranger, doesn't go for Johnson. Good defense from the Rams.
See the Rams on every baseline out of bounds play for the Tuatara. They're switching to a 2-3 zone. Just playing a little bit of junk defense.
Smith looking inside to Kanina. Looks to bump off Low. Can't get the baby hook to go, and that will be Rams ball. Knocked out of bounds by Chris Johnson.
Coach Aaron Young looked like he was going to try and save that for a minute. The
flowing locks of Walter Brown get us back underway. Into the big mitt of Mike Kanina. Good hand from Rob Lowe. So disruptive when he hedges on those screens. Stent 3 doesn't go. Walter Brown does remarkably well.
He does, yeah.
To keep that possession for the Rams. Can Joe Cook Green capitalise? High rebound. Johnson jumped too early. Stent with a good pass down low. And they'll go again. And that hits the shot clock, so out of bounds. Timeout called by the Auckland Tuatara. Aaron Young increasingly frustrated, I think, giving up those offensive boards. And he wants to talk it over with the Lizards.
Yeah, and that was one of the strengths of the Tuatara team on Friday night, was stopping the opposition from getting in offensive rebounds. And you just see the Rams, every shot that goes up, are sending 1, 2, sometimes 3 people to the offensive boards and managing to come up with a few extra possessions. Tuatara that time saved by the shot clock. Otherwise, it could have been another opportunity for them.
Well, young Walter Brown, who we saw with that athletic rebound, perhaps doesn't look like he can jump out the gym, but he can jump out the gym.
He can, yeah. There's 3 or 4 guys on that team with the Rams that they can really bounce. And I was talking to Mike Karina prior to the game about it, and he said, turn up, got all these young guys that are just doing windmills and between the legs, and he said, I can hardly jump off the ground. I said, that's okay, mate. You just got to lean on them. They won't be able to do anything. He said, yeah, that's right.
The old Para Cameron defense, just put a hand on their hip.
Yeah, hard to jump when you've got a big guy leaning on top of you.
Well, it's an exciting roster for this Rams faithful, who always show out in numbers at Cowles Stadium. Of course, the excitement of a new arena on the horizon in Christchurch, with the Metro Centre being built, expected to be completed towards the end of 2023.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the Rams, particularly last season, show that they were at capacity every home game, and it's no different this season as well. So they definitely need a little bit more space to get some more people in.
Back underway, Dante Rousseau-Nats. The Tuatara lead by 3. With just under 8 to go in this first half. Johnson sets the screen. Not once, but twice. That pass tapped by Brown into the outstretched hands of Jackson Stent. Here's Joe Cook-Green. Oh, that pass knocked out of bounds by Tom Beattie, so remain Rams possession.
See McIntosh coming back into the game for Tom Beattie.
Mentioned Jackson Stent a couple of times. He's back from college and straight into the NBL. Rams lose possession there, and here come the Tuatara. Braden Yuli puts the Jets on and finishes nicely.
A great finish of the rim by Uli.
Cook-Green looking for some help in the form of Mike Karina. Nice spin by Chris Johnson. Even though he got bumped off on the spin, made the block look easy.
Yeah, Mike Karina actually did a great job of getting position and getting himself to the ball. Yeah, it's just the length of Johnson is just so hard to get around.
There he is, going the other way this time. Loses possession, Sam Smith comes away. Joe Cook-Green, though, couldn't corral it. Tuatara ball.
And that was an example of that physicality with Mike Karina down at the defensive end when Johnson just tried to put his head down and go around him, and he's just a big body to get around, you know, and manages to bump Johnson off his line.
Well, it's an intriguing battle so far between the two very differently proportioned big men. Tucky Farrington, Lawrence McIntosh, here's Yuli. Made the move from the Bulls to the Tuatara, those big strides. The Rams ball, well, came off Tucky Farrington, says the officiating crew. As Rob Lowe gets ready to check back into the game.
I thought we might see a little bit more of a bit of zone defense out of Tuatara at some point, just to save the legs of the big guys.
Karina drops it off to Darling. And a nice athletic finish from Max Darling. I'm sure he would have loved to throw that down, as we know he can, but a sensible decision with Rob Lowe lurking. 2 points for the Canterbury Rams. Farrington. Oh, here's a mismatch. Chris Johnson, Karina goes to help. Chris Johnson, beautiful turnaround jumper.
Elevates and shoots the ball from about 10.5 feet.
Karina again puts the brakes on, this time a running hook shot. And you can tell just the presence of Lowe and Johnson on court makes Mike Karina think twice there.
Well, they're just shot changes, you know, particularly Johnson. Anytime he's around the middle of the key, anyone coming to the hoop, you've got to shoot extra high to get over him.
Ditch.
So another example there with Rob Lowe.
Walter Brown again in there getting rebounds.
The corporate's getting a serious workout tonight.
Well, Ryan Taylor back in on his debut. Import for the Rams. Had 3 years at Evansville University, where he averaged 21 points a year before shifting to Northwestern University for a season. 2 on the shot clock. Max Darling, a 3-ball. Not a noted three-point shooter, but don't tell that to the Nelson Giants. He had a game-winning dagger in 2021 in one of the games of the season in this very building. Chris McIntosh can't get his three to go.
Yeah, and he's not a guy that you want to leave open too much. Have free shots because he will knock them down.
Sunday Detch trying to get himself going with a nice pull up from mid-range. 5 points for the Aussie import. Well, Taylor Britt and Chris McIntosh went up for that at the same time. Jump ball will be called. And we're going to have a timeout by Coach Judd Flavel and the Canterbury Rams. They trail by 3, 26-23. Just over 4 minutes to go in the first half of action here. Two teams looking to keep unbeaten records at this early juncture of the NBL season. Don't forget at 5 o'clock today, the Manawatu Jets back in action against the Southland Sharks, who'll be stinging after a last night loss.
There will be. We'll see a replay here of McIntosh and Taylor Britt catching the ball almost exactly the same time. Taylor Britt's had a good start to the game. You know, he's been aggressive offensively, knocked down a couple of threes, managing to get to the rim, found a couple of nice, assist passes to a few of his teammates, and defensively he's always pressure on the ball, always looking to shoot that gap and get steals. He shows he's a quality guard, and one of the reasons why he's a tall player.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure for us to be here. We've had a busy weekend, haven't we, Phil? Friday night, the Nelson Giants home game against the Tuatara, and then early morning flight to the capital city. The Basketball New Zealand AGM and the awards night. As I mentioned, you're inducted into the Hall of Fame alongside your good friend and teammate, Kurt Penny.
Yeah,
Leanne Walker, Tall Ferns legend as well.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend, and basketball's been celebrated, and a couple of quality games to be involved in and commentate for. Couldn't really ask for too much more.
Can't forget Ken Coulson as well, legendary referee, who still is a part of the NZNBL family as a referee evaluator. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame as well last night on a wonderful evening for New Zealand basketball. There's Taylor out there with Sunday Detch, Taylor Britt, Max Darling and Mike Karina. So starting lineup out there for Judd Flavel. They haven't led tonight. Darling, Chris Johnson with a block.
Johnson just getting a tip on that.
And Tucky Farrington just got a fingertip to it and then just got a toe to the line. Manages to stay in bounds. Oh, defense by the Rams. Chris Johnson thought that was tipped. Referee Hayden Pike didn't. And Judd Flavel isn't giving anything away with his facial expression.
I think Johnson might have a good argument there, but possibly just a little bit lazy on the pass.
Should correct myself. The Rams did lead by 2 right at the start of the game. But since then, haven't. Darling looks for a bit of help. Finds it in the form of Taylor. Gets a shot up. Doesn't go. Russo Nance with a rebound. His third to go with 7 points. Chris McIntosh. His pass is off Sunday Detch. Dante Russo Nance. Is it a foul called or is it out of bounds? Foul is called on Taylor Britt.
Yeah, I don't think Chris McIntosh could believe how wide open he was there.
Rob Lowe trapped in the corner. It's knocked out of bounds by Max Darling.
The Rams running a bit of a trapping defense on the inbounds, but hard to trap a 7-footer when he can put it above his head and pass over you.
There's Rob Lowe in front of the Rams bench. Passes across to Farrington, catch and shoot. Above his eye line, there's Max Darling elevating for the rebound.
Skying up for that rebound.
Brett round the Darling screen twice. Pulls up over Chris Johnson in the mid-range. Another rebound for Dante Russo Nance. A low scoring affair, Phil. His defense has reigned supreme. Rob Lowe, big body contact down low. Rob Lowe calling for the flop. And walking away with 2 points. I'm not sure it was a flop. It was massive contact. I'm not sure it was anything wrong with it on either side.
Yeah.
Taylor Britt takes a foul and the finish. And to the Rosine foul line, he'll go for one more.
And that's when Taylor Britt's at his toughest. You know, he gets on his left hand and he gets downhill towards the basket. Once he gets the defender on his hip, he's very quick at getting to the hoop and hard to stop, and often finishes and gets the foul. As we see here, just gets McIntosh on his hip. Bit of body contact and one.
Feathery touch with that left hand of his. Misses the free throw though. Chris Johnson tallies up another rebound. 7-7 day, and not for the first time. Auckland Tuatara throw position out of bounds. We saw it a couple of times on Friday night as well, actually, Phil.
Yeah, just last couple of minutes have been a little bit sloppy for the Tuatara, and I'm wondering whether maybe the legs are starting to wobble a little bit. Get through this next 2 minutes and get into half time, get a bit of a breather, and come back ready for the second half.
28-25, 2 minutes to go in the first half here. Mike Karina wide open, can't believe his luck, can't get the two to go though. And here come the Tuatara. Russo Nan, Sunday Deck showing his defensive wares. Big screen by Rob Lowe. And Dante Russo Nance with a
tough finish.
Spectacular finish.
May have almost looked like it'd come out of his hand, and got a nice feathery touch.
Detch turns the corner under duress. It's a floater to go.
Shows his own touch, getting to the middle of the paint. A little floater.
Lowe fires it over to McIntosh. Strides into the lane, Brett all over him, and a foul. So Chris McIntosh will go to the Rosine foul stripe. Shoot two.
Two quick fouls on Taylor Britt.
As we have a timeout here. Rob Lowe. They're discussing a few things with the officiating crew, the captain of the Tuatara. Still just 28 years old, been around for a long time. Burst onto the scene, of course, in the 2009 Under-19 World Champs that were held in Auckland.
Well, he's one of those players, you know, there's a few around, but not many. One of the ones I think of the most would be Dylan Boucher. He just plays with an understanding or a level of understanding of the game. He's kind of almost on the next page, you know, and Rob was similar type of player in that respect, as he sees the game very well and understands, you know, what's happening in front of him, or sees what's developing in front of him, so it allows him to be a step ahead. I think, you know, that's a trait of a guy that has experience beyond his years.
Joe Flavel talking it over, of course. Fresh off his second season with the South East Melbourne Phoenix as an assistant coach in the Australian NBL.
And we see Chris McIntosh now stepping to the Rosine foul line to take two shots after that foul on Taylor Britt.
There's Judd on the edge.
Fitzgerald waiting to check in, depending on the outcome of McIntosh's free throws.
Tough to start a season without a head coach, Phil. Have you ever been through that situation where you're waiting for your head coach to arrive at the start of a season?
Don't think so. I've usually been on the other end. I've usually been one of the players coming in a little bit later in the season.
Oh, Chris McIntosh missing his free throws. You don't often see that. Well, Coach Ben Sheet has been running the cutter. Different these days, of course, with Zoom and video conferencing and little meetings between Flavel and the team. Coach Ben Sheet is duly rewarded for his work over the past few months last night at the BMZ Awards with Coach of the Year award, male Coach of the Year, I should say. Sunday Detch's two ball doesn't go.
He managed to get a good look too with that nice up fake and got Russo Nance off the ground.
Tucky Berenson with a ball on the veritable string. He's fouled by Joe Cook Green, and he'll go to the Rosine foul stripe. 40 seconds to go, I should say, in this first half.
Yeah, Farrance is just doing a good job, similar to Taylor Britt, just getting Joe Cook Green on his shoulder and getting to the basket. There's a lot of good defense or defenders out on the court tonight, and you know, offensively, there's nothing really coming too easy, and you know, that's probably a reflection of the scoreboard.
Well, I think both coaches would be happy if they told them that they'd only conceded this many points at half-time, especially Judd Flower will know that Chris Johnson's only scored 7 points.
Yeah.
Tucky Farrington looking to add to his 2 at the free throw line, so 4 now for Tucky. He'll be very happy with that. Can the Rams finish on a high? It's been as close a game as I can recall so far this season. As we anticipated, great steal from Tom Beattie. Here's Farrington in the open court. A two-handed slam. This time, he doesn't make a mistake.
He wouldn't want to be 0 for 3 for dunks over the last 2 games.
5 to go, Sunday Dech. And every inch of those 2 points. And that'll do us half-time here at Cowles Stadium. 34-29, the Auckland Tuatara over the Canterbury Rams. It has been as tight an affair as we anticipated. Defense reigns at Cowles Stadium. For the Rams and the Tuatara in the heat of battle. And we can head over and hear from one of those young men right in the heart of it. Dante Rousseau-Nance, who's with Phil Jones.
Dante, pretty low scoring first half. What a pretty tough defense out there. Yeah, both teams, I think, are trying to focus on defense. Well, we certainly are. So, yeah, just defenses make it tough to fall off and score. So, yeah.
Second game of the weekend, how are the legs feeling?
Feeling good. We got a good stretch in yesterday, so our legs feeling all right. Just got to fight, finish the game.
Good luck for the second half.
All right, cheers.
Taylor, pretty tough first half out there. Defensively, you guys look like you're trying to put a lot of pressure on.
Yeah, that's always the key for us. If we can hold the 1 to 40 in the first half, is pretty good, but we've given up a lot of O-balls and turnovers.
It's good to have Judd Flavel back on New Zealand soil and coaching you guys for the first time. How are you finding it?
Yeah, he's really good. Shetty did a good job stepping up, but having Judd here, getting everyone in this week, it's been really good.
Awesome. Good luck for the second half.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Taylor. And there is Judd Flavel talking it through with the Brains Trust for the Canterbury Rams, and lots to talk through. Low-scoring affair where defense reigns at Cowles Stadium. 34-29, the Tuatara lead the Canterbury Rams. We'll be back after the break here on Sky Sport. Real kick clash going on there.
Yeah. I'm gonna shoot some pass when the boys come out.
Well, kia ora, welcome back. Half-time here at Cowles Stadium, and the youngsters are taking centre stage for the meantime, while the grown-ups are inside talking it through. Hugh Bannon here alongside Phil Jones as we see the stats for this one. Taylor Britt and Rob Lowe leading the way respectively for their team, but Phil, it's been the defensive display of both teams that's really the headline in this one.
Yeah, well, you look at the scoring across the board, it's pretty low. For most players, Rob Lowe and both Taylor Britt are fought pretty hard to get their points. But defensively, both teams are up and in, and you know it's a real battle out there to get any points on the board. And you can see the rebounds again. You know, not the teams are not giving up too many offensive rebounds, although the Tuatara had a period there in the second quarter, which they did. Assists, not a lot of assists floating around either, because there's a lot of defense and a lot of the shots are not going in, so you're not going to see too many assists.
24-18, the rebounds count. Tuatara with 24, the Rams with 18, as we see the Rams talking it over. And we haven't ever seen too much evidence of them being disjointed with new faces and head coach in town.
No, look, I think the culture of the Rams is that anyone who has the opportunity to play, they just step on the court and they do their role and they play hard. You know, and I think a lot of these guys would have known that there were pieces of the puzzle missing, and they would be coming in. So you know, they would be accepting of their roles.
Absolutely. Well, it's half-time here. 34-29. The Auckland Tuatara lead the Canterbury Rams. The third quarter to come live from Cowles Stadium on the home of sport, Sky Sport, after the break.
Yeah.
That was cool, that locker room shot. Just as they walk in, that's awesome. Oh, bring him, JD. Welcome back, third quarter, just a couple minutes away here at Cowles Stadium between the Tuatara and the Canterbury Rams, 34-29, don't forget, from 5 o'clock, the Manawatu Jets take on the Southland Sharks live here on Sky Sport also. Young Manawatu Jets side with 3 imports Phil in the country, but I don't think suiting up today, and Shane Tamina also, so reinforcements very much not on the way, but here for the Jets, and we'll see them from round 3 onwards. And the Shark side will be smarting after a loss last night to the Franklin Bulls, who are 2-0. Franklin Bulls, one of the teams that came into the NZNBL season with a lot of intrigue around them. On paper, a lot of talent, but could they work together? Well, they certainly have so far.
Yeah, and they've shown that they've put wins on the board, which is what you need to do. And obviously, both teams with players to come back in. I think Corey Webster's still got to come back in. The small matter of Corey Webster. Yeah, come back in for the Bulls. And I suppose that's something that the NBL does have a problem with, is getting players to the starts of seasons, because it clashes or it crosses over with other seasons or competitions going on around the rest of the world. So at times, potentially the quality of the basketball is not as good as what it's going to be initially, but we're starting to see now with full rosters showing up that the level of the game is really picking up, and I'm sure that we'll see that from both those teams as well.
And hopefully those clashes can be more easily avoided going forward, hopefully post-pandemic. Especially the one with the Australian NBL, which has very much been COVID-19 related. The 2 clashes over the last couple of years, as Joe Kirk Green had the influence we expected he would have on this game. For all the defensive endeavour of the Rams, well, both teams really, it's the Tuatara who've kept in the lead, Phil, from all but the first basket.
Yeah, I think Tuatara did a good job initially of getting out to that run, and they've managed to weather the storm, but it is a low-scoring event, which is not something that somebody like myself would much prefer to see lots more points.
Well, maybe the second half will bring it. We haven't seen too much of Ryan Taylor so far.
Yeah, and he'll be one of those players trying to find his feet. New to the NBL, understanding the physicality of the league, and just how the referees officiate the game and those types of things. So it's all sort of new to him.
It's 10 minutes of action for Taylor. Yet to score.
And he's very much coming into a squad as well that has a lot of guys that are able to put points on the board. So it's more so of almost an equal opportunity type offense that Judd's potentially running, so they're not actually going to him every single possession trying to get him 20, 30 points a game.
Back underway. Rob Lowe and Tucky Ferguson combine early. Here's Lowe in the low post. Looking at spin baseline. Mike Cadena knew what was going to happen there, and he defended it very well.
Yeah, he did a good job of keeping Rob Lowe off the block there, and just pushed him away with a turnaround fadeaway. Much more lower percentage shot than one right at the basket.
Now it's Cadena's turn in the low block. He deputises to Taylor, and the rangy block from Chris Johnson. Here's Tucky Ferguson in transition, and he finishes with one hand.
Just floats to the rim. Just Johnson's length as an offensive player, and he's playing defensive on you. It's horrendous. Just can't get by him.
Cadena deputises to Brett and then sets the screen for the Rams captain. Here's Taylor with Lowe on him. A couple of crossovers into the lane he goes. Tough defense from Tucky Ferguson and Rob Lowe, and a turnover from the Rams. Clear intent, I think, from the Rams to try and get Ryan Taylor going at the start of this third quarter.
Yeah, I think he's had a couple of opportunities. Just the Tuatara defense is makes guys think twice when they're driving into the paint. The Kiwi, such long athletic guys.
Speaking of long athletic guys, there's Chris Johnson with a turnaround jumper after some swift passing from the Auckland Tuatara.
It's so hard to defend that because you're not going to block that shot. The elevation and the height that he shoots it from is just too far away from the defender.
Here's Sunday Ditch trying to gather possession, which he does. 3 on the shot. Or has to shoot over Russo Nance. The rebound is gathered in by scampering Mike Karina. Britt hands it off to Karina. Beautiful no-look pass just to shake off Chris Johnson from Taylor Britt.
Yeah, silky pass by Taylor Britt.
That's what you have to do, don't you, when Chris Johnson's patrolling the hoop. Loses possession. Sunday Detch first to get on it. Good handles and nice bounce pass. Britt with the finish. Back-to-back buckets for the Canterbury Rams.
Karina and Johnson just asking for the floor to be wiped. A bit wet after Johnson fell. Just noticed that you know, the one way that the Rams are getting themselves back into the game is through their defensive intensity. If the Tuatara can manage to weather that storm and look after the ball and limit the turnovers, then that's gonna make sure that they keep their noses in front.
The Moppets doing their job. There's Rob Lowe. Gets himself in the correct position to get the game back underway. Tucky Ferguson backs down Ryan Taylor energetically. Turnaround jumper from the young man. Can't get it to go. Rebound Taylor Britt.
A lot of contact on that position.
Here's Britt. Hunter Adam awaiting in the weak side corner. Sunday Detch. Turnaround jumper from Sunday Detch. Misses everything, except the outstretched paws of Johnson.
I feel like we've seen about 8 turnaround jumpers in the last 7 positions.
It's like watching a Dirk Nowitzki tribute show.
Yeah.
Russo Nance stops on the dime and pulls up from mid-range. That's his own rebound, but we have a whistle here. Chris Johnson, I think, called for a push. Second personal foul for Johnson. And Rams ball, they trail by 5. 6 minutes 40.
I think he just got tangled up with Hunter Adams there and just kind of grabbed at him, threw him out of the way.
So Taylor Britt and Chris McIntosh, who very adept 3x3 players, go at each other. Slinging pass from Brett. Hunter Adam, who's been waiting patiently the last couple of possessions. Can't get the 3 to go. And now he's got to guard Chris Johnson at the other end. Taylor Britt comes to help. There's not going to be much help above the 8-foot-high point that Chris Johnson releases the ball from. And another 2 points for the American. He now has a double-double, 11 points and 10 rebounds early in the second half. Taylor Britt, good movement, but shots off to the left. And Tuatara come the other way through Ferguson. Rob Lowe, his 3 ball rattles around and drops in. Is that the first 3 we've seen from Rob Lowe tonight? He was reeling them off for fun on Friday night at the Trafalgar Centre.
Yeah, just interestingly keeping an eye on Chris Johnson and Hunter Adam. They're really having a physical battle down low. A little bit of action off the ball after Rob Lowe made that 3.
Detch. That shot.
Johnson
100% by Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
Tucky Ferguson. This 3 ball doesn't go. Adam with the board.
I think we might see a timeout coming at some point here. I think the big boys for Tuatara are starting to feel the wind a little bit in their lungs.
Detch looking inside to Kanina. Johnson goes over the block, and there it is. Almost scripted. A bit of a scuffle on the floor. Hunter Adam has to put it up, but the shot clock has been violated. And we have a timeout, a media timeout. Both teams will talk it over.
I think there'll be a few boys that are quite happy about that.
43-33. Tuatara just put a little space between themselves and the Rams after 5 minutes of action in the third quarter.
Well, Tuatara really come out and they've made a point of going to the low block with Chris Johnson, getting him a post-up action and playing out of that. And you see the last possession, Rob Lowe getting wide open on the three-point line, knocking down a three. But previous to that, Chris was working his way to the hoop with a couple of nice turnaround jumpers.
So the Rams under new head coach Judd Flair will talk it over. There's the crowd fire up because 3 GJ Gardner balls are being thrown out. There's a one lucky recipient. Oh, she gave it to a younger sibling, maybe just another fan, I think. What a lovely moment. Cowles Stadium, one of the great New Zealand NBL theatres historically. You've had many a good scoring night in this gym, haven't you, Phil?
I love playing here. It was always that Giants-Rams rivalry. I remember from our first years of playing in the Giants coming here, and I remember the stands being different, a different setup where they basically went from the edge of the court all the way pretty much up to the roof.
I think health and safety has intervened in the
possibly changed years. Yeah, but it used to be absolutely pumping in here, to the point you'd come out after the game and you couldn't hear anything because your ears were ringing from the noise.
We're back underway in the third quarter. Here's Chris Johnson, Max Darling back into the game, trying to use his strength to deter Johnson. He does enough to make him miss the shot. Taylor Brett runs downhill, straight into Johnson. That's a heavy contact between Taylor Brett and the floor, and he felt that one potentially on his ribs. Chris Johnson straight over there to see if he's okay. He went up into Taylor Brett and into Chris Johnson and Tucky Farrington.
See a replay here. Hard. Turns on the Jets, and Johnson just came over and really a lot of contact. No malice in it, but just the Johnson going for the ball and bodies clash. You know, when you're a little guy getting hit by a big guy in the ear, you're generally going to come off second best.
It was like WWE. He'd been body slammed, and I hope Taylor's okay. He's just headed to the locker room. Supposed to be followed by manager Ray Winbritt. Happens to be his mum.
Yep.
Another chance to wish Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there, and especially ours, and probably almost more especially Phil, our wives, who we have ditched on Mother's Day to come and commentate a basketball game and left them to look after our children.
Yeah.
So Happy Mother's Day to Kat and Mandy.
Hope the kids are behaving.
Joe Green makes both his free throws.
So 2 of the freest points that Joe Green will score probably in his career.
Absolutely nothing to do with the play. Yeah. That court violation, Sunday Detch, and we will see so much of that from Sunday Detch in this league. Mark my words.
I'm surprised that that is actually a backcourt violation, because I thought, in my extensive knowledge of the rules,
oh God. Here we go.
The ball had to have 3 points of contact over the hook, over the halfway line, and Dante was dribbling the ball on the backcourt. I might have a chat to Hayden Pike about that at the quarter time.
I'm sure he can't wait. Here's Sunday Detch. Floater goes up off. And Rob Lowe does well to get that rebound under duress. McIntosh resets. Lowe. A little hesitation. And Rob Lowe rises. And he'll go to the Racine foul line to shoot 2. Ryan Taylor doing enough to prevent the dunk.
There may have been a bit of a clash in mid-air too between those two. There's a lot of reckless abandonment going on.
Well,
at the
you
moment.
asked for more scoring, and now we've got Rob Lowe going up for one-handed jams. We saw that little bit of that aggression.
I think Ryan Taylor might have caught a possibly got a bleeding nose from that contact.
Walter Brown comes into the game for him. There's Rob Lowe and Joe Green share a wee joke about the attempted dunk. We saw a bit of that aggression from Lowe on Friday night as well. It's very unlike Rob Lowe to miss from the foul stripe.
Yeah, and something they did very well on Friday night against the Giants is convert their free throws. Not as well tonight.
9 of 12 for the Tuatara. 4 of 5 for the Canterbury Rams. Both teams struggling from beyond the arc tonight, Phil. 3 of 12 for the Tuatara and 5 of 18. There's Joker Green pulls up from mid-range, and that one does drop. And the Rams just trying to cut this deficit. Ferguson drops it off the low. He knew exactly where his big man was, and Rob Lowe just about pulls down the hoop, and Hayden Pipe just wants to have a look at it and make sure it's properly secure.
I think that's it's pretty normal for the baskets here, the hoops.
They're just checking it's still straight, I think.
Yeah.
And what a pass, Tucky Ferguson didn't even have to look. He knew exactly where his big man was. And Rob Lowe, I think, secretly happy with his work. Must be a good feeling to stop a game because you've dunked it so hard. The Rams into their offense is Taylor. Brown to Max Darling. 6 on the shot clock. Joe Green fires off a 3-ball over McIntosh. Rebound Johnson.
Beautiful behind the back outlet pass.
Russo Nance spinning. He's got 3 Rams on him. And Max Darling comes down with the board. Jackson Stent finds himself open, and he drains the 3. He needs a hand up there. There's the young man, Jackson Stent. Needs to pay attention, though, because he's got a guard, Chris Johnson, at the other end, and Chris Johnson throws it down with 2 hands. And just gives him a little bit of a look. Says, be careful leaving that arm up there, young man, because I'll put you on a poster. And I'll go to the Racine foul line for one more. Why not?
The level of intensity offensively is definitely picked up.
Timeout call by the Rams.
Beautiful outlet pass. Chris Johnson just showing his length again at the basket. Like,
such a great look from Stent back at Johnson. It's like, well, fair enough.
He did make a nice 3 though, the play before that. So you know, young fella, no problem celebrating. Just got to pay attention.
Absolutely, absolutely. They'll talk it over. 8 points down, the Rams. And even though they haven't led since the start, really in this game, and it's anyone's game here with 2 minutes 37 to go in the 3rd quarter, and that's probably what Aaron Young's telling his side. But one lapse of concentration could see them lose this lead.
Yeah, with I guess the cool thing about basketball, in particular, the flow of the game and runs, things can change so quickly. You know, you can be up 10 points and then all of a sudden you can be down 10, you know, in the space of 2 to 3 minutes. And so you've got to stay awake. You've got to stay in the game, stay in the moment for the whole game. You know, to talk about the old, you got to play for 40 minutes, you got to play for 80 minutes. It's an 80-minute game. You know, that type of stuff. It's true. You know, you have to keep focused and you have to stay in the game the whole time. Otherwise, if you have lapses, then all of a sudden, that's how you end up losing games.
Chris Johnson waiting patiently at the Racine foul stripe. A great addition he's been to our league over the last season and a bit in Auckland.
Oh, he's an exciting player. You know, he can play both ends of the floor, and you know, gets anywhere near the rim, he's looking to throw it down.
There he is with another block, this time on Max Darling. And Rob Lowe has got to get it over halfway, and he understands that. And Max Darling is called for a foul. Well, how dearly, Phil, the Auckland Tuatara would love to go back to the big smoke. 3-0.
There we go, 3-0 on a
trip to the capital city next weekend.
Yeah, generally, the Rams Giants road trip is probably considered one of the toughest road trips in the competition.
There's Johnson again going to work on Stent. Stent does very well. And Nick Barrow is going to make his way back into the game, as Chris Johnson shows just a little bit sign of wariness. Nice handoff from Darling. Quick hands from the Rams. Walter Brown just can't get it to go. Who's going to come down that one? Joe Green. Detch on the wing. Into the lane, up with his left. Rebound eventually by Sunday Detch. And Johnson, just like a schoolboy bully, keeping the ball away from the younger boys. An offensive foul, Joe Green, great defense. And McIntosh called for the charge.
I thought we were going to see a highlight there. I thought McIntosh was going to throw it to Tucky Farrington, who was pointing to the ceiling. He'd throw it up.
Chris Johnson gets a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, he's had a good quarter.
14 points, 11 rebounds for Johnson.
It's a reasonably loud 14 points too.
He's got 5 blocks. He's the only player to register a block in this game, and he's got 5 of them. Low with the rebound and the quick outlet to Farrington. McIntosh. He's going to look inside for Low. He's got the height mismatch on Sunday Detch. Fires it over. Farrington steps into a 3 and drains it. Tucky Farrington from beyond the arc.
And maybe his first 3 of the night, I think, Farrington. He shot the ball well Friday against the Giants.
Darling. Steps in straight into Rob Lowe. Foul called on Lowe. That's a big collision.
That is
Max
a lot
Darling
of
and
contact.
Rob Lowe. It's been a physical game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Refs letting things go at both ends.
You see here Max Darling putting his head down to the hoop, and yeah, Max is a pretty big guy. You know, I think they may have just got him a little bit off balance. You see Taylor Britt back into the game, so he must be feeling okay, which is good.
Stents through his short. Rob Lowe, that's coming straight for me. And it's tipped out of bounds by Tucky Farrington before we wore one on the face. Rob Lowe looking for his former Tall Blacks teammate, Phil Jones.
That's good because I wasn't watching.
I was hiding behind you, so. We're back underway. Rams ball. 52-40. They trail. And time winding down in this third quarter. Stent finds Britt. Seven on the shot clock. Taylor Britt back to Stent. Pump fake, pulls up from mid-range. Oh, Walter Brown. Right place, right time. Not for the first time, but he can't get it to go. This outlet pass does find someone from Rob Lowe. Here's Farrington. Oh. Beautiful move in the air, but just couldn't get the finish. Oh, Walter Brown. And that'll do us anyway, as Aaron Young protests what he thought to be a bit of contact, but 3 quarters in the books. The Auckland Tuatara with a 12-point lead and 1 quarter away from being 3-0 to start the NZNBL season in 2022. 52-40 to lead the Rams at 3-quarter time. We'll be back after the break. James and some guys like already writing his game report. Start like that, we're going to get start speaking mercilessly on Hatless yet. Welcome back to Cowles Stadium. A fair bit of action to finish that third quarter. here, and the fourth quarter just moments away. The Auckland Tuatara lead 52-40. Just shows you how, well, there's Rambo entertaining everyone, just shows you how defensive-minded this game has been. The first game of the season, Phil, that we covered at the Trafalgar Centre in Nelson, the Giants scored 33 points in the first quarter. And then we have the Rams stacked with star power with 40 points in 3 quarters. It shows how gritty, how attritional, and how physical this game has been tonight.
Yeah, it certainly has. Now, one thing I noticed though in the third quarter was the Tuatara have had a real emphasis on defensive rebounds. Both Johnson and Lowe are looking to outlet the ball as quickly as possible to their guards, sort of around halfway, and they're really going with some intent to the hoop. And so it's something they've maybe sort of looked at to say, well, let's see if we can pick up some cheap points that way.
13 fast break points for the Tuatara, just 2 for the Canterbury Rams, as Max Darling uses every kilogram of his body to finish over Chris Johnson.
And that's one way to take a shot blocker out of the play, is to use your body against him and not allow him to jump.
Russo-Nance, nice little pump fake and a beautiful finish from Dante Russo-Nance, scampering across the baseline.
I thought he may have been going up to throw that down there for a second.
So Taylor Brett back out for the fourth quarter. Good to see after a heavy fall. Hopefully just winded. Kadina fires it over. Darling in the corner. 3 ball goes this time for Max Darling.
He's pretty happy about that.
5 points for Darling. Chris Johnson finding Russo-Nance and setting the screen for his young point guard. Rob Lowe doesn't think twice about the 3 ball. Off to the right it goes, and Taylor Brett does well to bring the board in. The captain trying to inject a bit of energy in this crowd. Rob Lowe, though, affects his shot.
Uli coming out with a nice board.
Going coast to coast, and he'll go to the Rosine foul line to shoot 2.
And Coach Judd Flavel won't be happy seeing a defensive rebound at one end and a full court dribble all the way to the other end for a potential layup, and now off to the foul line.
So Braden Newley at a Tauranga Boys College at the line. Look forward to welcoming a team from Tauranga into the South NBL in a couple of years. They are playing Stingrays, joining from the 2024 season. Maybe some of our Tauranga players who come from Tauranga will find a way home, like Braden, Jaden Bazant, Daron Rokawa. All hail from the Bay of Plenty. Max Darling thought about another 3. Harrison does well. 4 seconds to go. Taylor Brett has to put it up. Chris Johnson came block hunting. And the Rams just passing around the perimeter. Darling's on his way off. Walter Brown again with an offensive rebound. This time he puts it back in.
Walter Brown just everywhere on the rebounds at the moment.
He reads it very well at the offensive end as Brown. First points of the game. Russo-Nance. Yuli straight out in front. 3 ball doesn't go. Great box out from Karina on Johnson, and Brett gratefully receives the rebound. Darling into the lane, into the 2 behemoths in the lane. Karina throws it out, but aimlessly. And is chastised by Ed Book for his troubles. Timeout called. 55-47. And the Rams just unable to get within arm's length of the Tuatara. Still 7.5 minutes to go, though. 1 run will do it.
Yep, and I think Judd Flavel will be talking about the next 3 possessions and what needs to be done. And getting a stop here and getting a good offensive position. Just forcing a little bit at the moment, just trying to get to the basket. And I find there's quite a lot going on in regards to that penetrating to the hoop. They're trying to look at cutters from the baselines, and sometimes those guys probably need to stay in the corner to be receivers and shooters just to create more space.
Bit of noise here as Rambo fires irresponsibly fires T-shirts into the crowd.
Oh, no look.
No look fire from there, though.
We probably can't see much anyway out of his costume. But
one of the great mascots in the league. We've got 10 mascots in the league in 2022, which is great to see. The Rams make their way out.
Oh, off the backboard. And then one-handed catch.
Rambo making sure there's a bit of noise out there for the Rams as they re-enter the court. 55-47, they trail. 7:31 to go in this game. Don't forget, from 5 o'clock, the Jets taking on the Sharks in Palmy Dice. And Judd Flevel start his re-entry into the NZNBL with a win. His team trail by 8. Back underway, Dante Rousseau-Nance driving straight at Taylor Brett and finishing over Taylor Brett.
And Rousseau-Nance did a great job late in the last quarter of the first game of this road trip for them against the Giants. Was just doing that similar sort of play, getting to the hoop, managing to finish over long arms of the defense.
Here's Brett. Lucky got his left hand. Here's Chris Johnson with another rebound. Number 13 for Chris Johnson. Barrow with the screen at half court. Farrington. Pull up from mid-range, doesn't go. Darling rises for the rebound. Detch inside to Kalina. Kalina, Nick Barrow just in his way, forcing a turnover. Johnson steps into a three and it rattles in. And that's big buckets for the Auckland Tuatara. They now lead by 13. Chris Johnson has 17 to go with his 12 boards. Detch, catch and shoot from the corner, doesn't go. Rebound Farrington.
The Tuatara are doing a great job of just protecting the paint, and everything for the Rams at the moment is outside the key.
And this will be a dagger if it goes, and it does. Braden Hewley for three from the corner. Timeout called by Judd Flevel. 8 straight points from the Auckland Tuatara after the last timeout. And have they just taken any hope the Canterbury Rams had away from them? And sucked a bit of air out of this gym.
Yeah, it did. The gym's got very quiet. And that's what we talked about earlier. It was just, you know, the game of runs, flows. Tuatara come out of that timeout and just have 3 good positions on offense. Knock down 2 threes, get an easy 2-pointer, and all of a sudden have blown the lead out.
So what's the message, you think, from Coach Flavel in this situation, Phil?
Well, they need to look after the ball, and they need to get some better offensive positions in regards to looks at the basket. But it's so difficult because if the Tuatara is scoring and you've got to take the ball out of your hoop every time, it's you're always coming back towards a set defense. So maybe he'll look to come out here and just up the tempo on defense a little bit and see if they can create some turnovers. Possibly, you know, some sort of form of press or the full court man-to-man just to pick the tempo up. I could be completely wrong, but you know, with 5 minutes 48 left on the clock, I think there's no time to really wait. They need to get into it. You know, and the Rams, they only have 2 team fouls, so they can afford to be aggressive and see if they can create a few turnovers and get a few easy scores.
So the Rams get us back underway. Just under 6 minutes to go. 63-47, they trail. Taylor Brett, Dante Rousseau-Nance doing a great job to stay in front of him. Oh, Taylor Brett again with some good misdirection, little head fake to put Chris Johnson off the scent.
And that is one of Taylor's strengths, is he's got a really good ability to show one thing and then either finish with a pass or and Uli hits another 3.
Wonderful look from Rob Lowe after galloping down the lane. Stent looking to set a rebound, screen. Britt ignores it, and into the lane he goes, blocked. And here's Braden Hewley. He looks like he's enjoying himself over the past few minutes of play. Johnson with Darling on him. Darling does well. Russo Nance around the low screen. Hewley again. This time he gets nothing. And that'll be Rams ball.
Would have been nice to see Hewley go 3 for 3. He, probably the better look out of the last 3 shots he's taken, to be fair.
Joe Cook Green, through he goes. Gets a bit of noise back in the stadium.
Tuatara just broke down on defense here. Joe Cook Green was left wide open. Manages to make it count.
Russo Nance. Inviting the reach from Detch, and then everything but the finish. Braden Hewley, though, tidies up the mess, and he'll go to the line for one more. Great recognition of the defense from Russo Nance. Ryan Taylor checks back in. The ball gets mopped up. Taylor Britt takes a seat.
And Russo Nance just doing a good job of recognised the defence was jumping high and just rejected the on ball, and then Joe Cook Green tried to take a charge, but Taylor Britt just found wanting, not boxing out, and really converts.
So Hewley will shoot one from the Racine foul line. Pool of air ball goes out around Cowles Stadium. A cheer after the miss. Here come the Rams with some urgency in their step. Cook Green out with a floater. He gets it to go. Joe Cook Green certainly doing his part to try and get the Rams back into this one. They trail by 12, under 4 to go. The Tuatara looking to go 3-0. What will be a remarkable start to their inaugural season. Farrington thought about it and then drains it. Why not? Tucky Farrington tickles the twine.
Tuatara have just found their range at the right time in the last few minutes, knocking down a few threes.
Great box out from Stan. Rob Lowe. Certainly he's got a block, but it's been called for the foul. And Jackson Stent will go to the free throw line.
Not too happy with the call, Rob Lowe.
Sunday Ditch, sorry, he'll go to the line. Part of that All-Star Wellington Saints scene in 2019, as I said, had Rob Lowe in it, and Jordan Natai, Shea Ili, Ruben Tarangi, Nick Kay, not bad at all. Paulie Henare is the head coach, and if that wasn't good enough, second half of the season, why not Tom Abercrombie as well?
Why not?
Fantastic grand final where they were down big. Oh, Jackson Stent, hello. He's covered in all sorts of food. Just make sure he's okay. He's okay, and he's a little taste of it, he likes it.
That's a bit of red wine.
A bit of a clean-up job for the Cowles Stadium staff. As you might see in the background, Jackson Stent go into the...
Just saw the end result.
Get a little taste down there as well. Greedy young man. Good on him. And they're just going to send the players back to their respective benches of the referees while they tidy up. Yeah, that 2019 Saints side that went unbeaten, it was phenomenal. That grand final fell down
20
to memory by 20, right? Against
20 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, to the third quarter, I think it was, maybe towards the end. The Zico Coronel coach Hawks side, that was Brandon Bowman led, Dion Brewster as well. Of course, Ethan Ruspatch and Jerome Rokawa. And then, Jared Kenny. And then certain Tom Abercrombie just went off in the second half.
It's a fun thing about sport. Anything can happen.
So many of those players now applying their trade overseas and making good money and playing on big stages. It's great to see. Nick Kay, an Olympian, and now over in Japan, playing for Pauli Henare in the Japanese First Division. Back underway after a clean up on aisle 1 here at Cowles Stadium. Chris McIntosh doesn't often give up the open three, but time on their side, he does. Farrington turns the corner, straight into a pack of Rams though. Who's going to come up with that one? Chris Johnson is. He spins, he fouled. Oh, Tucky Farrington may have done himself with the service there. He's a little ginger as he's helped up by Rob Lowe.
It's like a pinball going through down the middle there. Bob Monti reference, Bloody Nose Lane.
Bob Monti comes to a lot of these
He does.
Rams games.
We were privileged enough to have him sit in with us last year at one of the Rams games.
Legendary basketball commentator.
You see here, Tucky just partially dribbling, partially kicking the ball down the lane, and then
yeah, fair bit of contact there.
Chris Johnson mugged.
He's at the Racine foul strike, and he makes his first. 18 points for Johnson, and I'll look to make it 19 now. Rob Lowe has 16, and Tucky Farrington has 14. If this Tuatara team isn't scary enough, Sider Schneider, import point guard, who's just finished the season in Denmark, arrives this week ahead of what is shaping up to be a mouth-watering trip to the capital city against the Wellington Saints side, who are in uncharted territory, 0-2.
Yeah, they will be looking desperately for their first win. It's unusual to see a Saints team to start 0-2.
Some circumstances, some mitigating circumstances in there, of course.
Yep. But no different to most other teams in the league that are missing players.
What a pass from Rob Lowe. It's just wonderful basketball from the Auckland Tuatara, finished off by Braden Newley, who has had a wonderful...
And great hand in there, just came off Detch's leg, out of bounds. Newley's had a real impact since coming in the third quarter.
He's got 13 points. With Braden, 18 years old. Rousseau Nance harassed by Joe Green. Trying to fashion a bit of space for himself. Does it by way of the step back. Rob Lowe offensive rebound. Rob Lowe put back.
Too big. That's all I really need to say.
18 points for the veteran Tall Black. To go with 11 rebounds. And Phil Jones 7 assists for Rob as Mike Karina. It's a little baby hoop to go.
So you're saying a triple-double watch for Rob Lowe, possibly?
Just 2 minutes to go.
3 assists away?
He's 3 assists away. Do we tell him? Probably not our place. Clock very much the sixth man now for the Tuatara. Chris McIntosh knows it. Here's Rob Lowe. Sets the screen for Yuli. Good hand by Detch. It remains Tuatara ball. That short-lived triple-double watch comes to an abrupt end as Rob Lowe subbed out the game. Nick the Wheel Barrow back in for the last minute 36. Nice pass inside to Chris Johnson.
And headers a goal after he scores.
Basket empty goal for the rangy American. Taylor Brett downhill, gets it up over Johnson, but Johnson gets the last laugh with the rebound. Looks like he's enjoyed himself tonight, Chris Johnson.
He's had a very good weekend of basketball. Had a big impact on both ends of the floor.
Here's Yuli. Back to Johnson. 3 ball goes up, 3 ball goes down. 24 for the one they call CJ. We go with 14 rebounds. It hasn't been the happiest of homecomings for Judd Flavel, but he'll be happy at least to see a run out from his team, his new charges. 3 of who arrived this week, including the head coach himself, so 4 actually, including Judd. Dante Russo-Nance has had an impressive night, the young man, just 18 years old.
Some confusion around whether we have a timeout or not.
We don't.
No.
Is the answer. We have 13.4 seconds to go. Now we do, as Dante Russo-Nance commits a foul. Allows some youngsters to come into the game. Charlie Dalton, son of the late great Tanya Dalton, into the game for the Tuatara. Walter Brown puts up a 3 from the corner, too strong. Mike Carino with the board. Yeah, the foul though, called on Carino. It's been a tough night for the big man, 4.3 rebounds, but he won't be the only big man who struggles up against the twin towers of Lowe and Johnson in 2022, I'd suggest.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order for a lot of people, literally.
Scrapping till the final buzzer are the Canterbury Rams, which their fans will respect, but ultimately the night belongs to the still perfect 3-0 Auckland Tuatara. Well, the Rams fans and the Rams coaching staff will be happy to see their new players in action, and there's be plenty to work on for Coach Judd Flavel. Now he's back in Aotearoa. For Coach Aaron Young, it's business as usual in this young season. What a start for the Tuatara, who will head back to the big smoke, 3-0, top of the ladder, and all smiles with the daunting trip to the capital city on the horizon against the wounded Wellington Saints. Another bumper night for Chris Johnson, 24 points to go with 15 rebounds. I will endeavour to see just how many blocks the big American got. And Rob Lowe as well with 18 points and 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Chris Johnson finished with 5 blocks. So great night for the two big men for the Auckland Tuatara. Taylor Brett was courageous. For his team, 6 of 12 for the floor with 16 points. And right now we can head over to the Auckland Tuatara camp. Hear from Rob Lowe, who's with Phil Jones.
Pretty happy with the results? Yeah, you know, coming on the road 2-0, really happy with the way the boys fought tonight and the other night as well.
Yeah, so next weekend you head down to play the Saints, who are 0-2. Obviously, you guys will be looking to head down there and impress down there as well. Yeah, look, they haven't started off the season well, so they're going to come out and have a week of practice and get better. So we need to do the same and come out swinging. Awesome, well done. Good luck. Cheers. And we'll just get young Braden Yulee. Well done, mate. A nice game tonight.
Thank you.
Where do you see yourself fitting in with the team and Coach Aaron Young? What is he sort of expecting you from your role?
Well, young ones, we always learn to push the ball. So, man, we just got to work out there when we get on the court every chance we get. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And nice to see a few shots go down.
Yeah, always good to see a few shots going out from outside. But yeah, it really helped our team. I think it really lifted the boys up, so yeah, great game.
Yeah, nice work.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
There was an impressive cameo from Brendan Yulee. Well, I shouldn't call it Braden Yulee. I shouldn't call it a cameo. It was much more than that. What a game, a breakout game we could possibly call it for the young man. 13 points, 5 for 7 from the field, good enough for 71% in this win for the Auckland Tuatara. As Phil Jones rejoins me in Coventry Plaza, and we have a look at the tail of the tape from this one. Canterbury Rams, of course, playing the Auckland Tuatara tonight, not the Otago Nuggets, but the players are correct. Chris Johnson, 24 points. Rob Lowe, 18. Dante Russo-Nance, 15. Taki Farrington, 14. And there's young Braden Yulee. So some great weapons out there. Of course, led by Johnson and Lowe. Sunday Ditch with some good defensive stats, as we will become accustomed to in 2022. And, Phil, what did you make of this Rams side? Obviously, the result didn't go their way, but you think there's plenty of potential there, as there is on paper, of course?
I think they've got huge potential. Yeah, they had four new pieces of the puzzle coming back in tonight and this week, and so they're still probably finding their feet. Whereas the Tuatara have had, you know, their third game in a row together, and it just shows that they're starting to gel nicely. And you know, the quality of Chris Johnson and Rob Lowe, and then Dante Russo-Nance, you know, they're a tough team.
They certainly are. It was been a wonderful afternoon in Cowles Stadium, as it always is when the Canterbury Rams are playing basketball, and here they are saying hello to their young fans, the future Rams, which is always good to see, no matter win or lose. The night belongs to the Tuatara, though, 84-56. They've beaten the Canterbury Rams. Stick around on Sky Sport, because from 5 o'clock, the Manawatu Jets take on the Southland Sharks, because this is the home of sport. And then round 3 gets underway on Thursday, when the Sharks take on the Hawks and the Jets take on the Rams. From Phil Jones and myself, Hugh Bain, and the whole crew here at Sky Sport, wish you a wonderful Mother's Day, and we'll do it all again in about, well, 8 minutes' time.